I'm Lisa, and this is Be the Effect, a podcast about the small, intentional shifts that create meaningful change. Here, we explore patterns, pauses, pivots, and practices so you can create that transformation from the inside out. Let's crack on. Welcome back to Be the Effect, where we pivot into new realities through little shifts, creating big change. I'm Lisa. I'm an action taker on good days, a world-class procrastinator on others, and living proof that momentum doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing one thing on purpose. Today, we're talking about pivoting your actions. You know, we tend to think that change requires big dramatic moves, a total overhaul, a 5-year plan, a sudden burst of motivation that lasts forever. But most of the time, and this is so true for me, real change starts much smaller than that. It's that phone call you've been putting off. It's the boundary you've been meaning to name. It's the email that's been sitting unopened since last Tuesday, silently judging you from the corner of your inbox. And here's what I've noticed in my own life and in the people I work with. We often avoid the very action that would bring the most relief. Not because we're lazy or incapable, but because that action touches something tender. Maybe it's the fear of conflict, or the fear of getting it wrong, or a fear of being seen. So instead, we wait for clarity, confidence, or motivation to magically arrive at the end of a magic wand, when actually clarity comes after action. And when you take even a small aligned step, something subtle but powerful happens. Your nervous system registers movement instead of stagnation. Your energy shifts from stuck to flow. Your inner world goes, oh, right, we're doing this now. And that one small step, it creates a ripple. Not because it's huge, but because it's intentional. That's the pivot. So, here's your action station for this week. Identify one small action you've been avoiding. Not the whole thing, just the first step. Send the message. Write the first sentence. Have the initial conversation. Drink the water. Seriously, start there if you need to. Drink the water if that is what it is. Then notice, how does your body feel once it's done? What shifts in your energy? What story changes in your mind? That's you pivoting through action. And it doesn't take huge steps. As I often tell my clients, it is lots of little steps to get to the big change. They don't come in one gigantic leap. They are lots of little steps. So, in the next episode, we'll be exploring how to pivot your energy, because even the best intentions can stall when your energy is depleted, blocked, or out of sync. For now, remember this: you don't need to do more. You just need to move one step in a direction that feels aligned. And every small movement creates a ripple. I'm Lisa, and this is Be the Effect, rippling into the next episode. Thanks for listening to Be the Effect. If this episode spoke to you, share it, reflect on it, and let it ripple. Small awareness leads to intentional action, and intentional action creates ripple effects far beyond what we can see. If you'd like to explore the butterfly effect process more deeply, you'll find links in the notes. Until next time, stay present and choose to be the effect.